Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of First Look. And in this edition of First Look, I'll be doing UFC Fight Night, Aspinall versus Tybura. I don't know, well, I'm not saying I don't know, but I think this is also could be called UFC London, or I'm not gonna say UFC London 7, UFC London 8, but yes, UFC Fight Night, Aspinall versus Tybura, or you can say UFC London, Aspinall versus Tybura. Either way, you know what card it is by this point. So, yeah, with First Look, I'm just gonna give like 5 fights that stand out to me right now, or 5 fighters, or 5 whatnot that stand out to me right now. I'm not saying the whole card, just 5 ones that stick out to me right now. Again, this like that goes with the theme of First Look. So 5 ones that stick out to me, you probably should keep your eyes out on. And I think only one card got real good value right now. That's everybody say, well, that's a good value. That's good value. But in my opinion, I think all of them have good value for because I didn't think it's not about a guy could be plus 9 million, but he's plus 9 million for a reason. A guy could be plus 400, 500. And like I said, that's not a great value, but that person's 99.9% chance gonna win. That's phenomenal value. That's crazy value. Versus but I don't know. I guess anybody plus 9 million is worth a penny throwing at it because everybody got a puncher's chance. But you get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let me think with the first one I'm gonna think of. Yeah, first one, Chris Duncan versus Yanal Ashmos. I'm probably butchering his name, but yeah, Chris Duncan versus Yanal Ashmos. And yeah, I'm butchering the name, but I'm leaning Yanal Ashmos here to get the victory. I'm not too impressed with Chris Duncan. And I feel like the last fight he won heavily based on wrestling. I think his wrestling won't be there as much. I think Yanal Ashmos should be the better wrestler in that fight for sure. And striking wise, I don't know. Chris Duncan has his moments on the feet, but I think a lot of times he do be getting picked apart on the feet. A lot of times, he seems supposed to be this, supposed to be that on the feet. Matter of fact, I think he's supposed to be more of a striker than a grappler. But yeah, I think Aspinall probably not as technical of a striker, but I think he has heavy hands. I think he has a better chin and should be able to, they trade. I feel like his shots will have more weight on him and he should be able to finish. Chris Duncan also, again, I feel like he should be able to control where the fight goes more than Chris Duncan. And then be able to find Chris Duncan with some power shots. Also maybe when he mixing his own takedowns, get Chris Duncan to drop his hands, bring shots over the top. So at plus 150, I think where he's currently at, I think Yanal Ashmov is a great value, like plus 150. So that's like the one dog I got out of these 5 picks right now. So first look, I'll have more dogs, probably maybe 1 or 2 more dogs for this card, when I make my quick picks and my full card fight prediction video. But for right now, I think I got, in this video, I'm just giving 1 dog. The other people, so if all you came for is dogs, then the rest of these 4 people ain't gonna be dogs, as far as other people I'm talking about. So yeah, I think Yanal Ashmov is a good dog in this one. I think got a lot of upside to him, undefeated. Going with Chris Duncan, who really barely even won his contender series fight. He got picked apart by Slava Claus in his first fight on the contender series, and then he was getting picked apart in his second fight on the contender series. But then he was able to get that Hail Mary. And then he got that Omar Morales, kind of up there in age, and downtrend, kind of got a win over himself. I'm not too high on any of his performances. I think Aspinall's performance, to be honest, impressed me more. His knockout of Sam Patterson impressed me more than what I've seen from Chris Duncan. But you gotta respect the heart of Chris Duncan. Like, it's a good heart on him. As long as he's in there, he's gonna be no quitting him. But I think, in my opinion, I feel like Aspinall's, in my opinion, should be the favorite. I think he's the better fighter. But we'll see on the night. But I think that plus 150 value is very good for him, and I think that's probably one of my favorite dogs. Well, right now, it's my only dog because I haven't made my full card prediction. Maybe I already know my other dogs. So I'm just making this video and just giving you 5 that I want to give you right now. But anyway, I think Ashmoff is probably one of my favorite dogs on this card. But we'll see. Only time can tell. I think I'm sticking with that pick. Yeah, I think I'm sticking with that one. Ashmoff at 150. I think that's solid. So on to the next one. So we got Ashmoff and Chris Duncan. So Ashmoff plus 150. I think his value is that. So that's good value. Let's take another one. Makhmud Muradov versus Brian Barberena minus 300. I think that's a phenomenal value. Brian Barberena not even a big welterweight. And I don't think he's gonna come up and put no muscle. He's gonna continue to have a little skinny, weak soy boy arms. Probably gonna have a little bit of a belly on him. Look like a worse knockoff version of Johnny Hendricks at middleweight when he went to middleweight. Like, he not gonna have, at least Johnny Hendricks has some biceps. This dude gonna have skinny, flabby arms. He's gonna have a beer belly and have his little weak looking mohawk, and still gonna have no power for the most part. They try to value him. I think Makhmud Muradov might be like 6'3", 6'4" in there. And also, when you look at patterns, Makhmud Muradov, like people that have beaten Makhmud Muradov so far in his UFC career, have utilized grappling at least at some extent. And Brian Marina has no real grappling upside in this one, no real technical upside in this one. I guess all he could do was say, "Oh, I have more experience fighting the elite of my division than you." I mean, I already have more experience beating elite at my division, but I have more experience fighting elite at my division because I fought like Leon Edwards and Kobe Covington and whatnot. So he has more experience fighting elites at his welterweight weight class. But yeah, I don't see no reason why he's going up to middleweight. Maybe he doesn't want to cut weight. I don't know. But or maybe he just got tired of getting grappled up in his last two fights, so he's like, I'm gonna come up and wait. At least this guy's not gonna grapple me. Just give me someone that's not grappling and who's free and available. And they're like, oh, Makhmudov ain't got no opponent, so we gonna give you him. He's at middleweight. Like, he's like, cool. I already get knocked out, or at least get a chance to swing and bang, and with the potential chance to get knocked out, but without having, but as long as I don't have to deal with getting laid on and tapped out. So maybe that was the agreement. But yeah. I'm not gonna say Makhmudov is no lock confident, it could seem like it is, but yeah, Makhmudov has kind of not really been coming through. At first, he was a real big prospect, real big contender or whatnot, but then he suffered that loss to Gerald Marchart, and then pretty much everybody started saying jumping off the bandwagon, like went from bright star and also the inactivity from bright star, a lot of potential to can almost. That's how they started treating him. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna be like high con. I ain't gonna go lock with him. Like he's not really super trustworthy, but in reality, he should have no reason to lose this fight, but at the end of the day, it's MMA, but high confidence. Like, so you should be able to put good confidence, especially at minus 300. I think that's a phenomenal value for him. That's a crazy value, in my opinion, especially since that I think he's a much better striker and he'll be the much bigger fighter. And in my opinion, Brian Barberena has no business being at this weight class, in my honest opinion. Yeah, so minus 300, Makhmudov, phenomenal value. And with all these values, you can parlay them. So if you feel like, oh, Ashmaz is a great value, Makhmudov's a great value, I feel like both these guys are lock, then you could parlay those guys together and probably get like plus 300 on that. So that's the two right there. That's two right there. Two right there. So third one, I'm doing this off the top of my head for the most part. I ain't got no real computer in front of me right now, no laptop like I would usually do, so I could do it. But hey, off the top of my head, trying to get the third one I thought of. Maybe I might have to pause it for a second. All right, the next one is Andre Muniz versus Paul Craig. I think Muniz is minus 225, and I know some people are kind of fading him now, or just avoiding that fight because Paul Craig is kind of weird. He's a weird kind of fluctuating guy. He can beat Jamal Hill and Magomed Ankalaev, and that he can lose to Khalil Roundtree. So he's a weird guy. And Andre Muniz just lost to I was about to say Sean Strickland. He lost to Brendan Allen and whatnot. But Brendan Allen, you see, he's amazing talent. And, actually, I feel he actually has true potential. No insult to Paul Craig. He never really had no true potential. But I feel like Brendan Allen has definitely had true potential. And he's back on the stride. He has all the talent to cause a lot of people issues at all levels of his weight class. And I feel this is a guy that could definitely get to a title shot. I don't know if his choking weight is going to allow him to win a belt, but I definitely think he has the skill and talent to get himself to challenge for a belt in the future, and probably even in the near future. So the guy has all the talent and skills, definitely have the grappling skills he needs. He's probably got to focus on the striking defense, striking offense, and the more strike cleans up, don't forget his grappling, don't lose that. The guy could be a problem for literally anyone in the weight class. And got some of the best grappling in the weight class, one of the best overall fighters in the weight class. He's got skill and talent. So yeah, no real knock with that with Andre Muniz. Just take his lesson and learn, just like I would say, just like Brendan Allen took his lessons from his losses and got better. I feel like Muniz could do the same and get better, and he could definitely be a player in this weight class. What I know for sure is that Paul Craig will not be a player in this weight class. If you think otherwise, you are dumb. You are stupid. You are stupid. You think Paul Craig will actually be a player at middleweight? You are stupid. He might win this fight. Very slim chance he might win this fight. But being a player at this weight class, like a guy like, oh my gosh, Paul Craig is climbing up the leaderboards, climbing up the rankings. Oh, Paul Craig, title shot. Maybe, you're just trying to, that's your boy or whatnot. You're just trying to boost him up. Like, no insult, but you're trying to boost him up. And that you're a fan and you're trying to boost him up, but you feel like he deserves a title shot, or you just want to see him in a title shot. But as far as actually earning and being consistent and thriving in this weight class, I don't see it. I'm not saying he was no big light heavyweight. I feel like he had a good size, but he was kind of skinnier, I guess. So maybe he can come down to middleweight. It won't be as bad as like a 6'4" buff light heavyweight trying to drain himself down to middleweight. But I think still coming down to middleweight, he's going to have issues coming down for the first time, or at least the first couple times. It's not going to be no easy cut. Like, he just like cut the weight class and be like, I feel better than I ever feel. Well, a lot of people say they do that way. They come down there and chin be super softer than they even was before. And not to say that Paul Craig has ever had a great chin, but ain't going to be better at middleweight than it was at light heavyweight. So light heavyweight wasn't good. Middleweight is only going to get worse. Cardio going to be worse. I think Muniz had just as matter of fact, Muniz is a much better grappler than Paul Craig. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is like he's a night and day difference. Paul Craig is a great grappler, but I think Muniz is clearly on a different tier. Striking wise, Paul Craig ain't really even a consistent striker. So yeah, I think, and also I'm go to my one of my favorite things I like to lean to a lot of times in these close, well, not close matchups, but a variable that definitely factors heavy a lot of times and is very successful is when guys of equal level or the guy that's lower is better, like equal level or the guy that's lower is just better, then the lower guy is likely gonna win when it comes to cutting weight. Unless like a stylistic matchup or like maybe the guy that's cutting down for the first time is just so much better. A lot of like 99 times out of 100, the guy that's of equal level or better wins. And I think Muniz is better. And I think stylistically wise, he should be. We also seen like not too long ago that we seen what's his name, Jimmy Crute just manhandle Paul Craig around and was able to tap him out. And Jimmy Crute's nowhere near the level of grappling that Muniz is either. It's not like Paul Craig has phenomenal takedown defense. He is an underrated fighter. He is very skilled, but he also is a choke artist and also dealing with this weight cut as well. Yeah, so it's not a good spot for him. That's probably gonna be high confidence. Muniz might even be locked confidence, to be honest. So I'm liking that minus 225. That's a phenomenal value for me. One of the better values on the card for Will. I said for what about to say? What I was even trying to say? What I just made up combined like 9 words for Will. What is that? For real? For farewell? Is it really real? But anyway, yeah. Muniz is a great value at minus 225, which I think he is last I checked. So minus 225, even minus 300, minus 350 will be great. But I think anywhere in the minus 200s is a steal for me, to be honest. Anywhere in the minus 200s for Muniz is a steal. So that's like the third one. Now the fourth one, like I said, I'm giving y'all 5 for this video. The fourth one is going to be Joel Alvarez versus Mark Giacchese. Mark Giacchese, whatever his name is. Going Joel Alvarez here. Probably going, I'm not going to say maybe high. I'm probably going to go average here. It might shift to high, but I think it's going to be between average and high, but most likely lean to average. Because Joel Alvarez's takedown defense is like, a bit on the questionable side. I think he's still like at 0%, surprisingly enough. Like, he hasn't defended one takedown yet. But also when you look at these names, you can't just be like, oh, purely look at stats. Some people get so focused on stats. Like, stats are a big factor. But something, to be great at this, you gotta look beyond stats sometimes. Like, this is a cause to look beyond stats. Let me just break some of this stuff down. A guy can have like a guy or girl can have like 90% takedown defense. Maybe like Andy Hill, sure. I think her takedown defense like 80%. But you get taken down. What I mean, I'm just throwing out random. Let me try and throw out names. But a person can have like 90 Michael Johnson. But a person can have like great takedown defense statistically, but they get taken down, they can't get up. Michael Johnson. I said I was gonna name drop. I'm still name dropping anyway. Like when they get taken down, they just get tapped out real quick, real easy. So they can show good takedown defense, like they can defend takedowns. But when they get taken down, they get held down for 4 minutes. Another fighter can have like 30% takedown defense, but when they get taken down, they pop right back up. They go out there, they committed, they're doing flying knees, spinning back kicks, rocking the person fighting, getting rocked, hit with windmills, sliding across the cage, getting knocked unconscious, waking back up, and getting the dog out. But the fact that the person's being throwing the kitchen sink at them, they're just all balanced a lot because they just doing highlight reel attacks, or they just super aggressive, they can take it down, but they pop right back up, continue to press the person. Person got like 20 takedowns, but they exhausted, and all they can do is go for takedowns. They run into knees, run into punches, and they get beat up. Like, yes, you went 40 or 40 on takedowns, but you could held the takedown control time for the 8 minutes that the fight lasted was 2 minutes. With the rest of that, 6 minutes would you get him life beat out of you. Versus a guy who hold somebody to like one takedown of like 15, but they got cage control time. They got all this stuff, so it factors. And also, I'm off topic here. I'm like, you got way into that right there. But also, when you think about that as well, with this one in particular, the people that Mark Giacchese was able to take down and hold down Slavakov, what do you really got to worry about him with the takedown? Nothing. Shorter guy, more average size guy, weak built like an average guy named Craig, very built, weak little, or Greg, built very weak. And Craig or Greg, both the same dudes, just with different names, but weaker build. And no real, like, he got Slavikov's got decent takedown defense, probably, definitely better than Joel Alvarez, but on the ground he offers nothing, so you could keep going for takedowns for him. You could even shoot poor takedowns. There's no like submission coming after you. Or and then for Demir Hazawa, really nothing for you on as far as takedown. Maybe he got a little step in knee he caught little Marcin Hell with, but as far as grappling, no real threat as far as grappling. No submission threat as far as grappling. You can wrestle him all day. But Joe Alvarez is big, long, and he has a patented guillotine. And I can definitely see the Dan Hooker fight plan out again on here, or a couple of these fights. Well, it's like at least 2 fights where he lost. We got tagged early or feel uncomfortable on the feet, and he ran into guillotines. And I think of all those people, Joe Alvarez is the only one with a patented guillotine. So I could definitely see him running to that guillotine. So submission is definitely on lines. In the distance, definitely on line. Well, I feel like with Mark Casey, his only path is decision, and like trying to take him down. But I don't think it's gonna be easy path to victory for him. And I think Joe Alvarez, I think Joe Alvarez is like minus 150 right now. So I think that's a phenomenal value, and I think it's a great stylistic matchup for him. Yes, I don't like the fact that his takedown defense is where it is, but given where his BJJ is and the fact that most of the fights he was taken down, matter of fact, all the fights he was taken down and he won. He lost one fight where it was a striking matchup to a very good fighter, underrated fighter, but his stock's dropping significantly in Demiris Magomedov right now, and that wasn't his debut for Demiris Magomedov, but he's gotten better since then. But that was a fight with no takedowns. The other fights outside of Arman Suyakaran, who's he's at the top of the division. No one has had success taking him down. Like, they took him down, but he tapped him out or finished him. So it's not like you say, oh, he gets taken down and loses all the time. Where everybody takes him down, everybody lays on him. One guy took him down and had actual success, and that was Arman Suyakaran, who's like literally like in the top 5, top 6. So it's not even a good case. And Casey's not on that level, and I don't think he'll ever be at that level. No insult, but I just think that's my honest assessment. So I think, I think Joe Alvarez should be able to cause some discomfort, and be able to lure him to go for a takedown, then be able to tap him out, or be able to hurt him, then jump on a guillotine. So I think that's a good value for Joe Alvarez in the minus 150. I think that's a great value in my opinion. So that's the 4th one. Then the 5th and final one I'll give for this video is, I guess, the most obvious one, the main event: Tom Aspinall versus Marcin Tybura. If you don't feel like that's the obvious one, well, now you know. Yeah, I just think Marcin Tybura really ain't got nothing for Tom Aspinall. He ain't got no wrestling for him. I mean, he has the skills, but does he have it to pose any issue for Aspinall? Aspinall is a much better submission grappler than Tybura. I think he's a much cleaner striker than Tybura, a much more lethal striker than Tybura. I guess the best thing Tybura could do is hope to somehow make it go give it his all for a takedown, be awkward, be herky-jerky with his takedown attempt, so that maybe the old injury for Aspinall re-injures itself, and then he gets a TKO by injury over Aspinall. But I really see this one. I just think Aspinall's going to knock him on the feet. I feel like he should be easily be able to defend the takedowns of Tybura and should be able to knock him out. I think it's a lot confident pick for me, to be honest. On the feet, Tybura really ain't got much hands. He got some decent kicks, but it's somebody working you behind a jab, and you're just trying to look for a high kick, and you really got no hands to set up your high kicks. You're just gonna be eating punches in the mouth all day. And I haven't seen Tybura really show any smart striking defense. Any real solid striking defense. His smart thing he does is try to grapple you now when you try to get some hands going on him. But again, I feel like the grappling won't be there. Like, well, other guys like that literally have no submission threat to them, or he's a better wrestler, better grappler than them. He's able to do that, but again, I think Aspinall clearly the better wrestler, better grappler between the two. And yeah, that clinching won't be there as much for me. Matter of fact, he tried to clinch by getting knee to the body, hit with elbows. Aspinall showing a good ability to do that, finish Spivak that way. So, and even from there, maybe able to transition to a takedown and go for his own submissions, or go for his own wrestling, his own takedowns, from the takedown, look to find submissions. But I think with this one, I don't know why I'm giving a prediction, but hey, it's not like it's my final prediction. But I might go and say it's gonna go to a decision for the fight. Right now, I'm not really settled on whether it's gonna be submission or KO. I'm leaning more KO, TKO in this one. Leaning more first round, but I might shift to the second round. I might shift to submission, but either way, flat out, I just don't think Tybura really has no real clean, solid path to victory here. Really, all his path to victory is a flip of the coin. Like, everybody got a chance. You in there, you train, everybody got a chance. But as far as actual logical, sound, logic path to victory for him, there's not really none, unless he's been proven upon something in his training camp, or his training camps, or he got a mole in Aspinall's camp and he learned something that is not really available to the public, or he just the obvious, I'm going to play off the injury. But it's like, I guess, no real clear path to victory for him. In my honest opinion, I think Aspinall just on a different level, and he'll show that, and he'll jump right back into that top 5, top 6 picture of the light heavyweight of the heavyweight division after putting on a statement performance against Tybura here. So yeah, I think he's minus 500 right now, and in my honest opinion, I think that's a phenomenal. Well, I'm gonna say it's a great value. Well, I'm gonna say it's a good value. In my opinion, for me, it's a great value because there's definitely a lot of fights on where I feel like a parlay with that and get that in the plus 100s, and double money or whatever. So you put 100 on there, you win 100. Now you got $200. Well, it's not the same. Somebody I want to get $200 back, so I want to have $300. But yeah, you put $100 on that, get that to plus 100, plus 130, whatnot. I think that's a phenomenal value. It only takes like at least maybe one dog. Matter of fact, one dog already gonna have you in plus money. But yeah, either way, I'm talking too much. I just think it's a great value. I mean, not great. Let me correct. It's a good value. Good value for everyone that's gonna put money on that. And also, you should be looking for in the distance because that's probably gonna get you even lesser down. It'll probably get you to, even by fighting, I'll probably get you to a minus 200 range probably, which will still be good. But maybe, again, I'm talking too much, but yeah, I'm thinking while I'm talking and videos dragging. But hey, you made it this far. You're already in it, and I guess you like what you're saying, like what you're hearing. You're a fan. Well, I'm not gonna say fan. You're a supporter. I don't do the whole fan thing because fans, it seem like these people fawn and whatever you are. You here and they're here. And it's like we here. We're here. So it's like your supporters are you just cool people who like the content. So. But talking way too much. That's the name of this video, talking way too much. But yeah, to wrap it up, Aspinall, good value for y'all. I feel great and phenomenal value for me, especially given the fact that I feel Aspinall is a lock here. So I feel phenomenal value. Anytime it's a lock and you feel like that shot's going to go in like 99.9% of the time, and you get that value, below 700s, I'm gonna say below 700s for me, minus 700s for me. I feel like that's a phenomenal value for me because again, you can always parlay that, and a lot of times when it is locked like this, you already kind of even know the outcome of the fight. Like Clarissa Shields, she's a decisionator. Like she can commit, but she's going to decisionator, so you could play her at plus 100. I mean decision. Like so, no matter who she's fighting, she's probably like a minus 1,000 to win. Playing Clarissa Shields' decision, it literally be like plus 100 like every single time, and like that's just free money right there. She to go up. Then you go with this fighter, Gil Burns or whatever. I'm trying to think of a fighter that has a pretty clear path to be Bilal Muhammad decisionator for the most part. He had that one fight with Sean Brady where he decided to break that mold, but outside that decisionator. So a lot of times you just play him decision. You already if you're not already plus money. That's going to definitely push him to plus money by picking him decision. That's what he's most likely going to win. And he's going to be very consistent and very true to that 99 times out of 100. like something like that. But again, talking too much. But yeah, Aspinall, good value for you. Great, phenomenal value for me. And that's the video. That's my 5 first look picks or 5 fighters to look for, odds to look for UFC Fight Night. Aspinall versus Tybura. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.